England are 2-0 down with 3 to play. So how do they win the moral ashes from here?
I think morally they've already won them, haven't they? I think the only way you can win the moral ashes now is to start wearing helmets when you're on scooters in Brisbane. Did you?
Yeah, I did see that. That's a start.
The fact that was a story, and then it followed up with someone actually asking him about the story from the newspaper, and then they did social media about asking Ben. I was just like, oh, it's gone. Like this is the part that English people don't understand until you're there, and you two both really know this. It's a bubble, Australia, right? Because it is an island, and then you've got small cities, Adelaide, Brisbane, and Perth. They're not like massive cities, and this is a huge event. And so everything that happens I remember, where Ishant Sharma one day went to a curry store outside the ground because the Gabba didn't have the proper veg. And he doesn't like Brisbane's food. Do you know what I mean? You can't win. And it falls on top of you. And then you've got the other side of these things of it's not just that people in the street recognize you because your face is in the paper all the time. They're all having a little go every chance they get.
Is this bringing back memories, Harmon?
Bringing good memories.
Good memories.
Might be bad memories. I remember 6-7. We went 2006-7. The one I try and forget. We left one of the first days. We left the hotel, went for something to eat, and there's cameras everywhere. It's just in a food hall, and that was the start of Marcus going home. That was the start of Trez going home.
Yeah, there is a serious point here.
He just couldn't. Marcus just couldn't get his head around it, and that day was the start of another day. Canberra, coming back to Sydney, and then during that warm-up game, we started.
It happened to Trot as well.
Trot
right?
the same. Mm-hmm.
So, the team are heading off to Noosa for a 4-day golf trip.
That won't be reported poorly.
I mean,
but
everyone is behind them and their golf.
But there is a really serious point in it and amongst this.
I don't mind this.
No, Ben Stokes was asked about the decision, and he said, look, I know from personal experience how important it is. Having gone through his own mental health issues, I know from personal experience that it is really important for this team to be able to get away. As a team, we're still going to be talking about cricket, but we have to get away. And actually, I think a lot of the WhatsApp chat that was going around when England were heading towards this horrendous second test defeat was, okay, so what's coming next? There'll be a fallout, there'll be some sensational article about somebody, someone will do something daft off the field, someone will get injured, and we don't say that lightly, and someone will probably come home or something bad will happen, There's still a month to go, guys. There's still a month.
Yeah. Well,
right? I do get in this. It's not like there's 5 days between the second and third test.
Yeah.
There is 10, 11 days.
Which is
they
unusual.
do need to get away.
Which is unusual for international cricket, modern cricket now. I know there's been a lot of old cricketers, former cricketers, have had their say on preparation and everything that goes with it. The crux of the matter is England just haven't been good enough. In the 6 days that they've played Test cricket, they haven't been good enough. You want to dissect that, dissect it. Going into the series, a lot of people talking about getting themselves ready and prepared and going. I still think that's where they were light. This bit, between 2 and 3, I mean, if you could get New Zealand quickly, you might have been with McCullum's contacts. You might have been better off going to New Zealand, getting out of Australia and coming back, because of the length of the time that's in between.
But then that would be reported as...
That would have been reported. They can't stay in Australia. So, you know what I mean?
I jokingly suggested they should go and play a game of Plunkett Shield.
But get out of the way, I don't have a problem with. But unfortunately, the little things that have come through these 2 test matches just magnify even more that these 4 days they're not cricket related. And you will have people who either have played the game, want to make a headline for themselves and get their own names in, or haven't played the game and want to get a headline for themselves. The people that have been in that country and been part of their Mashes series, when there's nothing else other than the goldfish bowl of bang, of that city on top of you. Bear in mind, you're talking about Australians. but there's also 10,000 English in that city
Yeah.
as well on holiday.
And you know what happens?
On holiday.
You know what happens when you start to lose as well. The fans start to go, "Oh, I paid all this money.
Exactly.
And you're going to give me the money back for ruining my holiday." While they've all got tans and doing quite well with the exchange rate and everything else. But
I mean, in 06, 07, we were actually pleased it finished after 3 days because by that point, sorry, Harmy, we'd seen enough.
Yeah, I'd
right?
seen enough as well.
Yeah, I bet. Sorry, finish your point, but also from a serious perspective, what do England have to do on the field from here on in? They're not going to win 3 test matches. Clip this up and push it out there if they win 3-2, right? But what do they need to do just to come away from this series being able to, hold their shoulders back and look their opposition in the eye and feel, well, we did have 2 terrible test matches, but look, we turned it round and at least we competed.
yeah, I mean, I suppose they have to they have to win a test. I know that sounds, this stage, that sounds almost fanciful, but they have to win a test.
And that test has got to be Adelaide.
It's got to be the next test at this point, which is probably not ideal. We don't know exactly what kind of surface they're going to roll out, but you're hearing rumours it's going to be a batting-friendly surface at this point, right?
Which helps England.
Hey,
Which helps England.
it does help England, but also if it's if Adelaide's really flat,
Yeah, but if it doesn't bounce, I'm a mum with you. I don't think England can come back from this. Both mentally and technically, I don't think I think there's a few of their players shot. I think England can throw a punch back in Adelaide, and if they throw a punch back in Adelaide, where are we in the series? If you know what I mean. So that would be something that I'd be challenging my group on if I was in there.
But the issue is that Australia will have a better side at Adelaide than they've had at any stage in this series.
But it'll come back to, and the point I would want to make would be to come back to how I throw a punch back. In the fundamental basics of why England are in the position they're in is the simple things England haven't done well for long enough. They haven't put the ball in the right area consistently for long enough.
Short?
I know. Yeah. And they're trying to drive balls in from areas where the higher risk is from the bowler's side. Now, that will not be in Adelaide because the ball will not bounce as high. So things start moving into England's favour. It's one of these ones where before the test series started, you're going, if we go 1-1 into Adelaide, England have got a great chance because this pitch will be flat. England, like we've seen in the likes of Pakistan and times in India when it was flat, England are a very, very good side when they can get out there, dominate and get out. Yes, you're right, Australia are a better side because they've got Cummins and they've got Lyon coming back. But England will still feel they've got a chance with Cummins, Lyon, Boland and Stark as a bowling attack. If the pitch is flat, if the ball doesn't bounce as much, they can hit through the line of the ball. Yeah. The bowlers will be better. They have to be better with another 25, 40 overs under their belts. The problem England will have is, can you risk sending out Bryden Carr, Gus Atkinson and Geoff Archer again? Because if you don't, you're going back to square one and going, well, Matt Potter's possibly as... Mind you, Potty bowled a lot of overs in the Lions game. Josh Tongue hasn't bowled a great deal. And we've seen at the Oval, when Josh Tongue didn't bowl that well, he's covered the game. I wasn't on that game. But he's covered the India Test match. He was a bit rusty going into it. Can England afford to... These are the little things, but... England throwing a punch back, I think, is easier at Adelaide than it would have been at Brisbane because the conditions are similar to what Perth were.
Adelaide is a little bit more bouncy than it was probably when you played, though.
Yeah.
We've seen Mitchell Johnson bowl some spells there since you retired. But your general point is not wrong. But the issue is that, so they bowled really well in the first innings at Perth when it was really fast and you could bowl a little bit back of a length. Then Scott Boland showed them at Perth you needed to pitch it up and they refused to do that. They come to the next test match and they don't pitch it up at all. They don't bowl anywhere near the stumps. And I'm not saying you have to hit the stumps. Fans they only going to hit the stumps 4% of the time. It's hard to hit the stumps at the Gabba because there's extra bounce. They weren't keeping the stumps in play is the issue, right? You go back, have a look at the 2 pitch maps of what Australia did in that third innings. Australia just went, great, we're going to be here. We're going to stay as close as we can. A couple of balls will bounce over the stumps. A couple will keep low, hopefully. And our best ball will hopefully clip the top of the bales when we go through. And how much more proof do they need that they're to just bowl in that way?
And the lines were better. And that's the thing. In
the accuracy of the England bowlers has been atrocious.
It has. And I'm a good into
Where does that come from, though?
See,
underprepared. Not bowling enough.
Okay,
but hold on.
4 years ago, Joe
They've gone
Rowe
in.
complained about Jimmy Anderson and Stuart Broad, without naming them, and said that they essentially did not bowl full enough in the day-night test at Adelaide, as did all of social media at the same time. And here we are 4 years later saying the same thing.
It's not just the length, though, is it? It's also the width. I mean, they're bowled so wide at times where you just
Atkinson not so much, and Archer not so much. I mean, Cast.
I mean, Cast's first change spells, I think it was in the last game. It was in the first innings or the second. It must have been the first innings because there wasn't much of a second innings, was it? He bowled, his first over went for 13. The other one went for 9 with a no ball in it. And the next one went for loads as well. Like, he comes on and he just sprays it.
I'm not going to defend Cast. Right? I'm not going to defend because he hasn't bowled well enough. But he's been asked to do a job. And that job is not an easy job in Australia because of the size of the grounds and defending it.
You mean the short stuff?
Short stuff. So he comes on and bowls the short
What about
stuff.
the wide stuff?
Well, the wide stuff's not helping. The wide stuff's not helping.
You're right. He did bowl
But he has to bowl the short stuff.
But I think that first over when he came on, so they were 36 for none, Australia.
Yeah.
Head hadn't got away at that point, right? 36 for none. He comes on, he bowls a Yorker. Still think it might have been by accident. He's Yorker.
No, he does bowl that Yorker.
I know. But
He does bowl that
I
Yorker.
think he slipped because he looked back at the crease, but I might be wrong. Okay. But then he bowled like 4 or 5 short wide balls. And I was like, well, like, I get it. You're being brought on to bowl short. Do they have to be wide? His inability to just hit a spot when he first comes on, and Ben Stokes isn't particularly accurate. Ben Stokes is at his most expensive in Australia as well. Like, I checked the stats. He's way more expensive in Australia than anywhere else. So these guys are coming on at first and second change. And even when Jofra and Atkinson have bowled well, it doesn't matter.
So what you're asking for England, what you're asking England to do
He's bat
to
better bowl, better
retain
field.
to retain the moral ashes is essentially to bowl line and length and to bat sensibly.
If you're beaten playing that sort of cricket, aren't we all going to say, well, Australia was a better side?
Yeah.
There's a reason why Australia beats England all the time.
Teams in the past have lost that way.
Yeah.
A lot of teams in the past have lost that way.
But there's a reason why Australia
Because then it comes down to skill level.
Yeah. Because there's a reason why
lost skill
Australia
level
generally
wasn't
beats England, and it's because there aren't many guys like Harmy from England, right? Most guys are seam bowlers and they wobble it around and they get to Australia and they can't do anything, right? So there's a historic reason why. Whereas Australian bowlers translate quite well to English conditions. They're usually taller, they can hit the pitch, they really like it because they haven't moved the ball sideways in 10 years and suddenly it's going everywhere. They're like, oh, I should have emigrated here,
Somebody
right?
bring
And
some
the ball,
sandpaper?
and the ball lasts longer.
Yeah, so they love it, right? So there's a reason, there's a historical reason, other than the fact that Australia has been a better team than England, why specifically England struggle so much, right? I think it's okay if you say, we went to Australia and we played Boland and Cummins and Hazelwood and Lyon and Stark got better than we thought, and Boland, we thought we had him and he got away from us, and Travis Head came from nowhere and we lost. At the moment, you would have to look at this and go, we're losing to Noosa and we're losing to Doggett. We didn't know who Weatherall was a week and a half ago.
That's the problem.
Right? And so that's a much bigger issue because Doggett and Weatherall are really skillful professional cricketers who are about 30, 31 years old. They're not, neither of them are the next Boland, are they? Right? And so at the moment, they're not even winning those smaller battles. They have to at least do that, don't they, for us to go, fair enough. Also, if they go 2-0 down and they play really good cricket for the rest of the series, we'll respect the fact that they didn't drop their heads, right? I don't know if you win the moral ashes at that point, but you do? Is that how it works?
I think
I'll check that. I've got the fine print at home.
Look, the last Ashes didn't take place.
That's right.
Yeah. And nor did the one at Perth because that was a ridiculous bounce. And day-nighter, that's not proper cricket.
Manchester rained.
If they can come through the next 3 Test matches, proper red ball cricket on proper tracks, proper cricket grounds, and they win, say, 2-1 or maybe 1-1 with a washout, moral ashes.